All right. So my question is, how much water per cup of lemonade? Oops, I forgot to write of lemonade. Okay. So that means if this first number is water, and the second number is lemonade, then I want a ratio where the second number is 1. Okay? Because it's got to stay the same order. So if I have 4 cups of water for 2 cups of lemonade, how many cups of water do I have for 1 cup of lemonade? Okay. It's the same idea as we did before. I notice that I have 2, and I want it to become 1. So I need to divide by 2, which means I'm dividing the number of cups of water by 2, which gives me 2 cups of water for 1 cup of lemonade. So the unit rate is 2 cups water to 1 cup lemonade. Okay. So in the first example, I wrote per pizza. This one I did to 1 cup of lemonade. You can write it either way. I could have written 2 cups of water per cup of lemonade. That would have been totally fine because it would have made sense in the example of the story. Okay. So I want you to think for a minute, what do we do in order to find the unit rate? What have we been doing? How are we finding this? What is giving me that number 1 on one side and then finding the answer on the other side? What operation are we doing? What patterns are we seeing? What is happening here? Okay. All right. I'm going to start on a new page. So make sure you have this written down. Okay, so this question says, I travel 150 miles in 3 hours. What is the unit rate in miles per hour? So take a minute, pause this, write that down. And then the question here is, what is the unit rate in miles per hour? So remember, unit rate means one of the numbers is going to become the number 1. But right here it tells me miles per hour, which means that an hour is going to be the one that becomes the number 1. Okay, because this word per tells me out of every, or for every, or each. Okay, which means 1, out of 1. So let's start by writing our initial ratio, which is 150 miles in 3 hours. So this is 150 to 3, okay? Where the first number is miles and the second number is hours, okay? So now I want to figure out what my ratio is for every 1 hour. How many miles for every 1 hour? So think about this logically. How would you figure this out? If you travel 150 miles in 3 hours, so here's start point, here's the end point, this is 150 miles, and it took you 3 hours. If you split that up, how much would you travel each hour or per hour? So if we're splitting something up, what operation are we using? We're dividing it, right? And we're dividing it by the number of hours that we started with. So we're dividing by 3, which makes sense because in this ratio, we divided by 3 on the right-hand side, right? So then we do 150 divided by 3. So I'm going to do this over here. 150 divided by 3. 3 goes into 1 0 times. 3 goes into 15 5 times. That's 15. Bring down the 0. 3 goes into 0 0 times. So this is a 50. So this says every hour I travel 50 miles. So let's do that. If this is 50, and this is 50, and this is 50, how much is it all together? Well, 50 plus 50 plus 50 is 150, which checks off. That's exactly how far I said I traveled in 3 hours. So that's what I'm doing when I'm trying to find the rate per, or the miles per hour. Okay? So this operation is division. Yay.